So I'm Jeff Lane from the Lane Motor Museum in Nashville, Tennessee. We have a collection of unique cars. Our specialty is odd and different cars that you haven't seen. We have about 550 cars in the collection. We have 4 major themes at the museum. One of them is microcars. We have about 75 microcars. BMW iZ is a very common type of microcar. We have prototype one-off cars. We have over 40 cars in the collection that are prototype one-off. Another one of our specialties is propeller-powered vehicles, right? So we have about 20 propeller-powered vehicles. Most of them are cars, but we also have ice sleds. We actually have a canoe. We have a couple of bicycles that are propeller-powered. And our last major theme would be Tatra, the Czechoslovakian cars that were made. So this is a 1932 Helicon. It's a propeller-powered car. The propeller is the only way that it moves the vehicle. And the reason for that is in the 20s, people were fascinated by airplanes because by the 20s, they were starting to carry passengers, they were starting to carry cargo, and there were some people that believed that propeller power was going to be the wave of the future, not just for airplanes, but for cars and buses and trains. And part of the theory with a car was that no transmission, no differential, no clutch. So the car would be simpler, it would be lighter, they claim more fuel efficient, I don't know about that. And it actually in the 20s made some sense in areas where it's flat, right? Think of Kansas, it's totally flat. Think of places in France where it's totally flat. There's not many red lights, there's not many stop signs, because a propeller-powered car, what it does well, like an airplane, is it cruises along good. What it doesn't do well is it doesn't accelerate very well, and it also doesn't climb hills, right? So, you know, it made some sense then. It makes absolutely no sense now, but Layat was a Frenchman that made about 20 production propeller-powered cars that he sold. This is a one-off, and we have collected about 100 photographs of 100 prototype propeller-powered cars. So there's a lot of people that actually tried it and didn't get into production. So the driving's very easy. It's got 1 foot pedal for the brake. Most of the propeller-powered cars steered in the back, because there were airplane guys and they were tail draggers in that area, so they thought the steering in the back. So this car actually is a Rosengart chassis that they turned around 180 degrees. You can see the hump for the rear axle there. And the rear is the front suspension off the Rosengart. Most propeller-powered cars had a hand throttle like this, because when you cruised along, you kind of got to a speed you liked, like on a boat. You could just leave it where you wanted. But the other thing with this was, because they didn't climb hills well, if you got like halfway up a hill and the car wouldn't keep going, you could jump out of the car, give it full throttle while you pushed, right? And then when you get to the top of the hill, you can bring the throttle back up and jump back in the car, where if you had a gas pedal throttle, you couldn't do that. So that's why almost every propeller-powered car has kind of a hand throttle like that. So yeah, actually to drive it, it's real easy. You know, you put the key in, it's electric start, you start it up. Here's the throttle. It has 1 pedal for the foot brake, so it's a 1 pedal system, as you can see. And actually, because these are the brakes off the Rosengart, which weighed about 1,500 pounds, this weighs about 1,000. The brakes are actually quite good because it's a lot lighter. And this is just like a handbrake, an emergency brake to, you know, when the car stopped to keep it from rolling. So that's really all there is to it. So the interior, it's essentially a 3-seater, 2 people in the front, 1 person can sit in the back. It's got the little wings on the back really to kind of keep some of the spray from coming up on you. You can't step on those because they're not solid enough. So to get in the back, you step on the front seat and you kind of step over and sit in the back. So this 1932 Helicon is in Lane Motor Museum in Nashville, Tennessee. We're open Thursday through Monday, 5 days a week. We're essentially closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, if that makes it easier. We have about 125 cars on display at one time. We have about 550 in the collection total, and we rotate cars every year. So, but this car is, actually we demonstrate this car at 11 o'clock every morning when we're open. It's not being demonstrated right now because it's at the show, but typically at 11 o'clock we start it up and talk about it. If you're in the Nashville area, we'd love to have you stop by and come see us.
From the Lane Motor Museum in Nashville, Tennessee, our honored collector.
Honored collector this year is Jeff Lane of the Lane Motor Museum in Nashville, Tennessee.